Welcome back to the Valentine Show, guys. I'm your host, Valentine, expecting you guys are having a wonderful and blessed day. Let me give you my preliminary thoughts on the George Floyd, what some are calling a murder right now. But as of right now, we don't even know if what happened there was the cause of death for this individual. We're going to get into the autopsy report by the medical examiner and see what he says. What was the cause of death? We're going to get into how this movement gets totally hijacked by the media and by celebrities, and why does sometimes stuff like this, when it happens, is desensitizing people from the reality of the facts. And they might be right and they might be wrong. We're going to talk about how did they react to the killings that happened in Chicago. You didn't know about those killings, right? But let's talk about this right now. So we have the killing of this man. Like I said, I'm calling it a killing, and that's how everybody's calling it a murder. But we still don't know if it's a murder or not. But what I do know 100% sure is that the officer, it looks horrible for him. You have a man that's down on the floor already, while this police officer has his knee on this man's neck while this man is saying that he can't breathe. Whether it's a true or a lie, still the guy, a few minutes later or seconds later, he passes out, and you still have your knee, that the officer has his knee on this man's neck, and acting on top of that, in my opinion, the officer acting belligerent with the people that are there, which the people are trying to defend the guy on the floor. They're cursing at him and whatnot, but the officer is still acting belligerent while there's another officer there, which makes no sense why this officer still has his knee on this man's neck for whatever the reason. It doesn't matter. After the man is clearly subdued, right? But the problem comes, and obviously they have fired 4 police officers off of that, and I think that's not justice. Obviously, the firing. We need to do an investigation as to why this man had his knee on this man's neck, which are questions that we need to ask. Was this something that it's permitted by this man's by the police force in that particular county, in that particular state? Was that a move that was permitted? But even if it was permitted, the man already had passed out. Why are you still pressing down on this man's neck? It's not looking good for this guy. I think this officer is gonna get charged with murder, because that's what it seems. Unless we find out that the cause of death is something else. Talking about cause of death, did what this officer do, did this cause the death of this individual? According to the medical examiner, we still don't know. This is the report from the medical examiner right here. Hennepin County in Minneapolis. This is what this is. This is the decedent Floyd George Perry, also known as Perry George. And this is what they say: the cause and manner of death is currently pending further testing and investigation by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office. So we don't know. Even the optics look horrible for this man. We still don't know if what this officer did is illegal, or was this what caused this man's death. We still gotta wait on that. Now, what takes away validity from a possible dirty cop is the fact that the movement has selective anger. Again, let justice be done. If the officer did something illegal and it causes man's murder, let him be charged with murder and get sentenced to whatever, 25 life, whatever the law demands. But it gets hijacked by these movements and it incites people to just go crazy. This is the mayor of Minneapolis, and look how he describes this. He's taking the angle of racism on this.
Time and again, we've seen black men die at the hands of law enforcement, or more recently, not law enforcement.
Alluding to the thing in Georgia. White people don't get killed by police officers. Latinos, we don't get killed by police officers. Chinese people don't get killed by police officers, and that's the problem. You try to further this narrative, and people are gonna be like, bro, stop it, man. Everybody gets killed by police officers. There's dirty cops. Sadly, societies like that. We live in in places where you're supposed to have safety. There's horrible monsters. There's in churches, horrible monsters abusing children. In law enforcement, you got dirty cops. Politicians, forget about it. Pastors, everywhere. Doctors, everywhere. There's dirty everything. LeBron James comes out and says this. This is why he was kneeling. Do you understand now, or is it still blurred to you? Stay woke. This guy's just LeBron James is just a fool, man. When they asked him about China, they're literally burning people, setting them on fire in Hong Kong, and LeBron had zero to say about China. But not even that. Did you guys know about this? This just happened this weekend. Look at the title. Do you guys know about that? Memorial Day weekend shootings have 10 dead in Chicago. Did you even hear about this? 10 people dead in Chicago. Those don't matter. And this is the problem. This is a powder keg that it gets hijacked by the media, by people, by narrative, and it just has people going out there in a frenzy. Look at this. Let me see where I downloaded this video. Look how they're acting over there. Look at this, man. It gets hijacked. Look. Destroying property, destroying police vehicles. Look. Oh, this is not the answer to these problems. These are not the answers to these problems. You're only gonna lose when you go against a police officer. They have guns, you don't, man. Oh man. The movement gets hijacked. Why, did you see this? And this is the problem. Did you see this? Did you see this? With this? Did you see that with that? With the 10 dead in Chicago? Did you see protests like that? In Chicago, look, Chicago saw the deadliest Memorial Day weekend for gun violence in 2015. Again, what the officer did to me, in my eyes, of a civilian, which, and this is just preliminary things that I don't know the laws, in my eyes, logically thinking, the guy should not have put his knee on the man's neck, and it's horrible that he did. And he should pay the full consequences of his actions. But when the movement in general just gets hijacked, man, this is a no-win situation. You know why? Because we need the cops. They protect people. When a lot of those people that are protesting get into problems, you know who they're going to call, right? The cops. Protest. I'm not against protest. Protest peacefully. Don't destroy property. Don't destroy people's businesses. Don't destroy the government's property. It's not yours. Guys, I'm going to leave it here, man. I mean, sometimes this is just like, it's insanity, man. What you guys think? Let me know in the topics down below. God bless. Godspeed me, Valentine. I'm out.